So the Nifty may have closed flat, but you know what? We're still closing at record highs. Hello and welcome. Nikki and I are here to give you a wrap of all the market action today. And with that, well, it has been a very good year. It certainly has been a fantastic financial year when it comes to the Indian markets, hasn't it?
Yes, a good week, a good quarter and a good financial year. For the week, the Nifty has closed around 0.82% higher. It's been the best quarter for Nifty since June 2014, and also for the financial year, Nifty has clocked gains of around 19% as compared to losses of around 9% in the previous financial year. However, the day's action was dull. In a range-bound day of trade, we did see Nifty closing in flat. Just moving on to the charts that we can see, after making that muted start, we see Nifty pretty much trading in a very range-bound session of trade and ending just about flat, but near the record high level agam. How is the space? How is the activity which happened? How did the activity pan out in F&O space? Did we see more support coming in for 9,000 level for that matter?
Sure. So as you can imagine, we've had very, very low turnovers. It's the first day of a new expiry, and considering that we haven't really seen too much with respect to turnovers, well, we're still looking at more base formation in the 9,000 level, which brings me to the options market today. We're looking at more and more accumulation when it comes to the 9,000 put. On the other hand, when it comes to the upper levels of 9,300 and 9,400, that is also where we are looking at some amount of building up with respect to a resistance on the upside. Now, you know, as you can imagine, because of the change that we've seen over the past few days, the range has also been shifting upwards, which means that the range now is indicated by the 9,000 level on the downside and 9,200 level on the upside based on maximum open interest. That said, we will still have to wait for more cues to come in before we can actually determine as to where the Nifty is heading in, especially given the fact that we are looking at a lot of events, including earnings, moving into April.
Yeah, I'm sure about that. For the week, it has been the day of Reliance Industries, which is completely paid out. We did see Nifty, Reliance being the top gainer on the Nifty index and ending up with gains of around 3.95% for the day. Next, we have Indian Oil Corporation, which ended with gains of around 2.5%. Next to the list, we have Hindalco, ACC and NTPC. On the flip side, however, Grasim Industries, and we saw the HDFC Twins not doing well and ending the day lower in red. We have some level of disappointment also coming in from ICICI, well, Axis Bank. Basically, all the financials were the ones which contributed majorly to the losses of Nifty index. Having said that, the space was, we saw some momentum happening, some traction building in even for fertilizer and cement stocks. How was some few stocks that you'd like to pick out and point out in the broader space for that matter?
Sure. So, you know, firstly, when it comes to the market breadth, it's been largely positive, but I'm going to talk about a stock which hasn't really done too well today. It's Infibeam, which has lost well over 16% today, and the reason why we want to bring the stock up is because Infibeam was one of the biggest gainers in 2016 on the Nifty 500 index. In fact, it done so well. That's probably one of those reasons why it was introduced in the futures and options space today. And well, surprise, surprise, you're actually looking at a decline of as much as 16% on Infibeam Corporation, as you can see here, one of the biggest losers on the Nifty 500 today. It's followed by J. Kumar Infra Projects on account of several other issues that the company is facing, Kolte Patil Developers, Take Solutions, as well as Navneet Education, all losing anywhere between 3 to 4% in today's day of trade. On the other hand, as Nikki was just mentioning, we are looking at fertilizer stocks gaining quite well. So Rashtriya Chemicals is up around 9.6%. We have Ratan Power up 7.2%, Shriram City Union, Capital First, KPR Mills, as well as South Indian Bank, all gaining well over 5%. So on the whole, it's certainly been a very good day of trade when it comes to the mid caps, and actually it has been a very good year and a quarter for that matter for the rupee as well, hasn't it?
Yes, it's been a good quarter of performance for rupee that we saw. It's for the 6th consecutive week of strength that we're looking in for the local currency. And if you look at just the chart, we see that the Nifty, that rupee is now trading below that 65 per dollar mark. It's been, the currency set for biggest quarterly advance since the period September 2012. That's set for rupee. that's how the rupee panned out for the day. We just missed out on the very big mover that's Reliance Industries that we were talking about. I think the Jio's expiry, New Year offer expiry is today, and just today the stock has actually touched an intraday gain of around the May 2008 level for Reliance. So it remains interesting to see what will be the customer base coming in once this offer is once this offer expires, which is today.
Certainly, and it's going to be another very exciting year, not just for Reliance Industries, but in the market in general. But that is all that we have for today. Stay tuned at Bloomberg Quint, and we will see you next week.